All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you all very much for coming here today. I'd like to start by saying that I've just filed an action in the Court of King's Bench against Premier Wab Kinew and the NDP for violating Election Financing Act during the Spruce Woods by-election. The violation clearly came when the Premier posted a reel on his social media on August 21st during the election blackout period, promising to fix section of Highway 2 in Spruce Woods. The governing party is prohibited from making new funding promises during the election period because it tilts the playing field in the government's favor. We've already filed a complaint with the Commissioner of Elections, but felt this moral and ethic breach was so gross, so egregious, we needed to file the action here in King's Court Bench as well. Wab Kinew and the NDP think they're above the law, that the rules do not apply to them. I think they're wrong. They need to hear from a Court of King's Bench that they were wrong. They broke the law. The Premier needs to admit it and apologize to it for all Manitobans. Now I will open up for some questions.
The filing says that you'll be filing an affidavit as well as the board is filing a brief. What do you expect that to be?
Yeah, we're working on that now. I have my legal counsel here as well, can comment on when that's going to be, but we will be filing that shortly.
Similarly, I mean, what's the status of your complaint to the Elections Commissioner? Have you heard back yet, or is it still in the works there?
Yeah, we're still waiting for that hearing back from the Commissioner of Elections on that filing, and I want to be very clear, those are two separate filings, right? So there's the Commissioner of Elections, and then there's this one today, taken at King's Court Bench here in Manitoba. And this one is, we're looking for a clear declaration that the Premier broke the law. We know he broke the law. It's clear as day that he broke the law. Anyone that can see that announcement knows he broke the law. Now he needs to admit it. We need a ruling from the judge here, and he needs to apologize to Manitobans.
Why go this route? Are you feeling like the ethics commissioner can't do enough on their own?
Well, again, these are two very different things, right? This one here is in the second highest court in Manitoba. This ruling would come, this declaration would come from a judge that the Premier broke the law. He knows he broke the law. It was very clear when he made the announcement that it was the Premier of Manitoba speaking to Manitobans on a new announcement during a blackout period when the candidate for the NDP made that exact same announcement 2 days earlier, or promised 2 days earlier. Anybody can look at the timeline and do the math. Candidate made the announcement. 2 days later, the Premier makes the announcement and promises, if you vote for their candidate, they will fix this road. That is an egregious violation of the law, and he needs to be held accountable to it.
If you do get this ruling,
Sir, I got a question.
We'll take from the media first. Go ahead, guys.
sorry.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
That's okay.
No, I'll try. So if you do get this declaration from the court, I mean, what do you hope to do with it? I mean, are you hoping to get costs from the NDP, or what comes next if you do get the successful vote?
Yeah, so the most important thing here is a declaration from a Court of King's Bench, right? Like, it is that the Premier broke the law. He needs to admit he broke the law, apologize for breaking the law and breaking the trust with Manitobans, and then you can move forward. From there's not much else that we can gain from this. Yes, there's costs for this, but those will be negligible, I would assume. The issue is that he broke the law. The Premier is not above the law. The NDP are not above the law, so he needs to be held accountable for that.
So does this open it up then for further ethics? Like, I know that they're two separate things, but when you're looking into ethics investigations where someone has broken the law, does that mean that the Tories are going to then submit every case to Court of King's Bench for declaration?
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment on hypotheticals that I don't know what the specifics of the situation are, but I would say that if you break the law, you should be held accountable to that. We live in a society that is governed by laws. Nobody is above those laws. The Premier is not above the law. If this happens in the future, then of course I would hope that if someone breaks the law, they are held accountable to that. So this is what we're seeking today, a declaration today, or a declaration with this filing of action, and the Premier to admit and apologize for his misconduct and his abuse of power in government.
This is coming today also where the legislature, they're in your cell speaking on the finances. Was this, did you choose to state specifically because that was happening today, or is that any correlation?
Yeah, no, I wasn't aware of the filing or the what the Minister of Finance is doing today. I haven't seen that. I'm going to head back to the legislature and review that. This is something that we've been working on since the Spruce Woods by-election. It just happened to be that this is when we were ready to file.
I know that you're not aware of the fiscal update yet, or haven't been able to take a look at what the NDP government is presenting, but do you have any comments or how you're feeling about the finances?
Yeah, well, I can't comment on what's been presented because I'm here today, so I haven't seen that yet. But what I can comment on is what is echoed by a lot of the people that were in the room yesterday when the Premier made an announcement for prosperity in the province in 2040. We're talking 15 years out when Manitobans today are struggling to pay their bills today. When Manitobans can't put food on the tables or fill their car with gases or pay bills. And the Premier is talking about a 15-year outlook on prosperity for this province. We need action now. We didn't hear that yesterday. I don't know what the report says today. I look forward to seeing that.
One or two questions of yesterday's announcement. I asked what's your reaction about the Premier's announcement about detox centers and keeping people for longer than 24 hours?
Yeah, I think when it comes to the Premier's announcement, we haven't seen that bill either, so we haven't seen what's in it. We've been very clear on this side of the House as progressive Conservatives that we need to be tougher on bail reform. We need to, if you break the law, you have to be held accountable. We've been calling for that since day one. This Premier ran on a campaign where he said in 100 days he will reform bail. It's been 2 years almost, and nothing has changed other than this announcement the Premier made, which we still haven't seen yet. And we have to take a look at that first and then move forward. But we are in favor of tougher penalties and more restrictions on people that break the law.
Back to the filing here. I mean, and I realize it's going to be more of a question for council, and that it's scheduling is not up to anything. But I mean, do you have any indication when you may get a hearing before Justice of this? Are we talking weeks, months?
Generally speaking, this has been brought by way of application, so it's very different than what's called a statement of claim. The application moves very, very promptly. I would expect a contested hearing if there's cross-examinations and affidavits, possibly less than half a year, I would think. That's what I would expect.
Sorry, your name?
Stefan Flores.
Can you say that? What's the last name?
I'm sorry, sir?
Say your name.
Oh, sorry. Stefan Flores. The last name is Thliv as in Victor, Eris. Stephan. I'm sorry? I can't quite hear you.
Title.
Oh, I'm Mr. Khan's counsel.
Yeah.
Legal counsel. Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.